I've become a crusty old man, and I think I've always been a crusty old man, and now I just admit it. I'm out in the open, and the reason is there is so few people that actually have a long-term vision in life. And if you look on the internet, it is all just utter crap, other than one or two people that are out there that I could say, you know what, they actually get it. They get what life is about, right? Like Mr. Money Mustache, for example. Um, I'd even say Dave Ramsey. I'm male, so I tend to skew on the male audiences. I apologize. That's just what the algorithms often serve me. Um, that there's these individuals that actually get it and get the bigger picture, but they're so few and far between. Almost everybody is about these quick wins, just absolute crap. Even in my own profession, right? Like as a professor, it is extraordinarily hard to find somebody that actually is willing to build something without getting credit today or without without getting that immediate response that you're doing something and you're getting an attaboy. It is when I tell people about what I did with the Reciprocity Project. I also built an entire, internationally recognized conference now that is the best conference in my area as far as I'm concerned. And I'm not trying to be cocky. I'm not trying to be like, look at me. I'm just saying it took 15 years. And when I started it, I was absolutely nobody. I was a PhD student. And, um, somebody, one that a well-known, recognized kind of medium, wasn't sort of full professor at that stage, I don't believe, asked me if I wanted to do a conference, and I jumped on it. And I've been building it, or we've been building it ever since. I have, a great team that's part of it. Um, it's internationally recognized now. It's considered, as far as I would say, one of the best conferences in the world in my general domain. Um, you know, but this took 15 years. And it also took me when I was a nobody, had no money. I remember for the first 2 or 3 years, I was funding it myself, right? Even for the first 5 years. And even today, it's officially an LLC under my name. Um, I'm funding it myself. I took the risk. I bared that uncertainty for an extremely long period of time. And with the whole reciprocity project, it's the same thing. It's I'm bearing the risk. It's a scary. I'm making these decisions that I don't know is right. I'm terrified all of the time. And I feel like I feel all of those negative emotions that you feel when you do these things, but I do it anyways. And to find people that are willing to do that, that are willing to step up, it's few and far between. It's extraordinarily small. I would say in my profession, in professor life, we probably have a greater proportion of people that are willing to do that because you have to select into that, but it's still very small in that domain. I'm willing to do something for an extremely long period of time without any credit and to look like a complete loser for a long time, right? To look like you're wasting your time for a long time. Like this conference, for example, I mean, it was years of building legitimacy and credibility and looking like a loser of like, why are you doing this kind of thing? Right. And that was the response. I get, I'm very well aware of that response. So what I'm getting at is to do things that are incredibly hard that actually pay off in the long run takes you to do things that are incredibly hard, right? Like if you want to look at all of the returns of the stuff that pays off immediately, like if you start paying attention to all the just god awful crap on the internet for the most part, and that trick people, they trick me, right? Like they were tricking me, and now I don't care about that stuff because I've realized most of it's just trickery crap. Um, even some of these well-known people do this kind of stuff to sell you crap. Um, and what I'm getting at, right? Like what I'm getting at is do things that are difficult, but expect nothing in return for an extremely long period of time. And it's not going to come back as like a one for one where, you did something and then immediately you get the same reward, right? Like, don't expect any of that stuff. And once you get used to that, right? Like, even just the simple fact that this is me building, you know, I do this every day, right? I'm building every day. And I've done that for years now, 10 years, 10 years when I started the Reciprocity Project. And yeah, I'm starting to see a little bit of some returns from it, just a little bit. But I want you to imagine what it's like psychologically to do this for 10 years. You can go and watch all of the videos. You can go listen to all of the conversations because I'm open and honest. And I want you to imagine what it's like. And if you think that anything in life is going to be quicker than 10 years or anything, and I had that expectation that this would probably take 10 years. I had this expectation actually that this is going to take 30 years, to be honest. By the time that I'm done, I'll reach hundreds of millions of people, encourage them, talk to them, and walk them through these many moments. Actually, am convinced people that research and education is a good thing. Um, actually have touched people's life and got them to turn around, get them to believe in themselves. All of this is a story of some complete nincompoop in the middle of nowhere where I grew up in some little dinky town with 6,000 people, 650. That was the population saying 6,500 people. That was the largest city in 4 hours in any direction. Well, actually, I'm lying. So Dryden is close to, it's 2.5 hours from Kenora. And Kenora is a bit larger. It had 8,000 people. But so it's Dryden, Ontario. You can look it up, middle of nowhere. And that's where I grew up. And I wish I would have started all of this whole reciprocity project earlier, but you get to go back 10 years, 2015, when all of this began. And you could look and see, I am not lying. Very few people paid attention. Very few people still pay attention. There is some quick win kind of goofy people that are out there getting you to believe in quick win crap that are in my domain or even the broader domain of what I'm actually doing. They're more popular than me, but that's okay. I'm going to get you to believe in the fact that you can do this, that education is a good thing, that it's one little step after the other. Then people treat you poorly, you simply just walk past them at some point and you say, look at me now. You keep doing good things in your life, keep smiling, keep encouraging, being a good person, loving yourself more than you love the world to an extent, to an extent. and you keep moving forward every day, one little step after the other. And I sure as hell hope that many of you listen to this and you realize that this is just not for academics and researchers and all of those kind of types. I'm hoping that you read through this and you say, like, this is life. This is what it means to live life. And I hope by the time I'm dead or within the last few years, maybe my last year of my life, I look back and I say, I lived a good life. I touched many people. I encouraged them to do the right thing many times over again. And I just have this silly ability because of the internet, which we didn't have access to 20 years ago. And I'm going to embrace all of those opportunities to encourage you to do good things and not pay attention to all of the nonsense that's out there. If I could be the one voice or the one of very few voices of being that bug in your ear, where I'm a crusty old man telling you that you can do this, that if you wait and invest and take your time, you do this sort of simple things, invest 15% of everything that you ever make, really take things slowly, you smile and you're happy. If I could be that one person among the very few people in this world that are actually doing that, man, I will live a happy life. And I will be so happy the fact that I actually did this and took this opportunity today. Take care and have a wonderful day.